Hey guys, another build updates for my Elite Journeyman with RapidChangeATC. So finally, I got my just the spindle cable. So I went to the route like buying my own spindle. I actually have a red line ordered included on this package, but I'm still on a I think it's still delayed for a month before I get my spindle. So right now I just bought my own spindle. It's a H100 with BFD. It's not a plug and play. I'll tell you that. It took me a while to configure it. So I don't suggest if you're not technically inclined or not comfortable configuring a VFD, just wait for your red line. But I was able to figure out everything, the wiring, then also the setup for BFD because it's using a PWM. So it's my first time setting up a PWM. I usually using a RS485 or the Modbus. It's much simpler. This one took me a while because initially the problem is I connected, there's a diagram from the master support, but the ground, it doesn't say which ground. It ends up I need to actually connect the digital ground and the power supply ground. Then that started working because when I did the tester, if I only connect the digital ground, it doesn't have a ground reference point, I don't get the voltage properly from 1 to 10 volts. That's supposed to be the PWM sending. I'm getting less than 1 volt. But after I jump the ground to digital ground, it starts working. I can read the 10 volts. And the second problem is because this H100 doesn't really show the RPM equivalent like Huangyang. It only shows the frequency. It's maximum is 400 hertz, which means 400 is equals to 24,000 RPM. So I need to calibrate it that in a maximum speed, it should show 400. It's always show 400 and lower it down the ratio. And then from that, I start incrementing it until I get exact 400. Then the next issue is the minimum rotation. So I try to, because if you're gonna set up the ECATC or RapidChangeATC, the spindle should be able to rotate at least 1200 to 1500 RPM. So it doesn't work on high speed. You need that settings. It's easy to change on the master, but on the BFD, you need to figure out which settings. I forgot what settings I need to change. And it's not a simple, I'm just gonna enter 1200. I need to do a math to do a calculation for the ratio. So let's say 400 hertz is equals to 24 RPM. So what will be the hertz equivalent for 1200 RPM? I think it ends up like 16.6 hertz. So I set up the minimum value to 60.6 hertz. So for the demo, let me show it to you. I'm gonna go to here, MIDI S, let's say S1500, run. Then I need to click just the speed setup, or actually you can do S300 and M3, but we're just gonna click that, see. So in here you can see how, let me get the camera. See how slow it is, because that's the only speed that we need for the RTC, for the ATC. Stop it and click counterclockwise. Yeah, that's a counterclockwise, it's working. Stop. And if you see, if I type, I run it again, the value is for 1500 is like 25 hertz. Let's speed it up, say S2400 maximum. 400 hertz. Let's try 15,000, which is 254 hertz. And let's stop it. Let me actually jog this. Oops. I also, when I route the spindle cable, because the drag chain is a little bit tight, I took the time to also install the cable needed for auto DAS boot. So I already connected that also inside here. I have one unit here, a 4 inches model, but this is not mine. This is the last unit I have, and it's already bought by customer. So I'm just waiting for some bearings and then I can ship it tomorrow. But I'm just gonna borrow it just for testing. So I'm gonna connect this here, power and signal. It's hard to do in one hand. It's powered on. Oh, sorry. There you go. So it should home. Yeah, it's homing. It's supposed to be mounted. I'm just showing it to you. It's not unmounted. So instead of going up, it's going down. And double click, save the height, single click, toggle. There you go. Since this is connected to the, I also connected this to output 18, which I think it's also that one is also connected to a vacuum. I think on the relay, there's a relay on that where you can connect your vacuum. So if we go to console, and there's actually no, here it's coolant. See here, it's go up to, go down. And you can also hear the relay. So I haven't connected vacuum there, but usually when the vacuum turns on, the auto DAS boot goes down. And the vacuum turn off, the auto DAS boot goes up. So that's why I connect them together. There's a lot of available output on Masa. We go to the setup. Yeah, there's a 18 output. You see here, coolant flood. The coolant flood, I'm using 18. I can use 17, 16, 15, but I don't have a shortcut key for coolant flood. And I think there's a limitation that you cannot assign a same output on the same function. Let's say, for example, I want to map this to coolant flood. See, coolant flood is not there. I can do coolant mist. Actually, I can do coolant mist. As long as your post processor can insert M7. Coolant mist is M7. Coolant flood is M8. As long as your post processor can insert it, you can use this instead of connecting them together. But it's not an issue. I just connect them together. Yeah, it's not here. So for example, let's connect this select mist in output 16. You see the coolant mist is no longer there. Yeah, it's for simplicity. Just connect them together. The vacuum relay plug and then the auto DAS boot. It's much simpler. The next step is to drill some holes to install all my Wasteboard. And this one is haven't mounted yet. I need to 3D print another riser. I made a mistake on these holes. It's too wide, so I need to shorten. It's probably already done, so and then once I have a Wasteboard, I'm planning to install it in here. on a Y orientation because I have more space on X, and at the same time I can do tiling if I want to do tiling. I only need to sacrifice maybe few millimeter or inches of space on the X, which you can do anything about it. Yeah, because even in here, you're basically just losing the Y trouble, the things that retract. It's still you're gonna losing that trouble because the spindle needs to travel on that area. Meaning there's that area cannot have a material to be cut. So it doesn't matter if you have a super complicated retractable spindle magazine, it's still not gonna work. At some point, you're still gonna block it during the tool change. Hopefully on the next update, we'll see a working tool change with Elite Masso. So I'll probably have a good idea or comparison between the implementation of RapidChangeATC for different controller, because this is my third controller that I'm been setting up. First is the build bodies, second is the gearball hull controller, and this one is the Masso controller. Okay, see you guys next. Bye-bye.